Hello and how are you? My name is Muhindo Mbarak as usual, and I welcome you to our fifth class of learning how to create mobile applications using Flutter. We are going to take this class for 80 minutes, so get ready. It's not going to be a simple journey, and I'm going to be a little bit slow so that I be able to explain the concepts to people who are really starting from scratch the mobile application development. So if you already have some idea about mobile application development, then you'll have to be patient. Okay, so I'm going to be a little bit slow as I explain everything step by step. So with that simple introduction, we're going to jump straight into our business. Up to this point, you should be at least having enough introduction on that programming language. If you don't have, then go to our previous videos and watch them and practice. You should have set up your Flutter environment. You should have set up your GitHub, and you should have at least created your first application in Flutter, even though it might not be doing anything, but at least you should have created a first application in Flutter, and that's where you're going to start from. So I'll assume that you didn't have an application, like according to our previous videos. I created my application here called Flutter Components. We're going to use it to study different components of Flutter. So let me go ahead and open my application. So also you'll have to open the application that you created and saved on GitHub. So for example, if I want, even if I don't want to use these shortcuts, I open my Android Studio, and then I click on File, and then click on Open, and then I'll go ahead and go to my GitHub folder, which is on desktop, GitHub, and it is on this math, and I can see I have Flutter components. This is the project that I want to open. So you should also be able to open the project that you created and submitted in your GitHub, so that when you finish practicing, you commit and push your changes, and I'll be able to observe them from my side. So let me go ahead and open that project. Or another way, you'll find the shortcut here at your home page. Okay. Or if you do not close the project, still when you open Android Studio, it will automatically open the last project you had opened. So that is straightforward. So I've opened my project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this project in my emulator, so that we should be able to elaborate as we are seeing what is coming out. I'm going to increase the font a little bit, so that you can see things clearly, because I'm seeing as if the font might be smaller for you on video. So I'll come to Preferences, and then come to Editor, and then come to Editor, and then come to Font, and then I increase the font maybe to 16. I think that one will be really enough for you guys to see stuff. Okay, 16 will be enough. So there we are. I'll collapse my emulator, but as I told you, don't run your things on emulator, because it will make your computer really slow. Even me, when I'm developing my applications, I don't run them on emulator. Why? Because it makes somewhere the computer a little bit slow. But I'm running the emulator because I want to demonstrate for you, and you see things how they go. That's why I'm running this application on emulator. So it's going to process. It is processing. I'm running it for the first time. When you run it for the first time, of course, your application will take a minute, or it will take some time to finish to compile. So it is processing, and when it finishes processing, it will be installed on this emulator of mine. So as it is processing, let us look at different folders of Flutter. So in Flutter, okay, so in Flutter, so that is the application that I had created. See, that's the simple application that we had just created, which is really beautiful. Okay, so at least at this point you should be able to create something like this. Okay, so now let us see how the Flutter source code is organized. So if you come this side on the left hand side you'll find the source code for your project. So it is organized. Some other folders do not explain them because they may not make sense for you right now. So it is organized in lib. So lib is a place where we put all our projects projects code. And then after we have a test. That test is also useless. We don't need it. It's just used when you're testing out application. Then you have pubspec .yml. This is where we'll be putting our external external libraries. So others may not make sense for you at this time, but the main file where a program will always start from is this one, this main folder inside the main file inside the lib folder. So let us look at that file. So that file, it begins by importing that material. So it begins, the application starts from here where there is the word run app. So this run app, it calls my app, and let me remove this comment, and then the application will start from here. Okay, the application will start from here. It may not make sense at this time, but when we proceed, we'll explain everything. You'll see they start making sense. So we have this what we call widget. So the first widget, which is surrounded by material app. So the whole application will be surrounded by what we call material app. Or in other words, this is where the whole application starts from. Okay, this is we'll call this my app, and then my app will display this material app as our first widget. So this material app, it can also include other widgets. As you can see here, we're having theme data. So this material widget will have some properties that we'll have to give to it, that we're going to look at step by step, this material widget. And then after, it will have what we call title, theme data, home. We're going to explain the meaning of all these things. And then inside, you see where there is home, there is my home, and this my home is also another class here, and that is where there are other widgets such as states and the rest. You can see them here. So this is a stateless widget, and if you don't understand the meaning of stateless widget, don't worry, we will explain everything. So at this point, let me first remove everything. This is the application that we have. Let me first remove everything so that we should have just a plain application. So what you do, just remove this. You see where there is my home, remove it. Okay, remove it and delete it. So you can just you collapse it from here. You see where there's a plus here. So I'm going to remove this my home, and then I'm going to remove this my state, so that I should have something simple that you can look at and understand. So all the Chinese, I've removed them, things that could confuse you. So the application starting from here, and then call this my app here, this my app function. And this my app function, it will display a first thing. So the display, I repeat, the application will start from here, the logic of the application. The operating system will call this main function, and then the main function will return my app. And my app, you can see it is nothing but a what? You can even remove this one, there's no problem. But my app is nothing but a class. It is a class of a stateless widget. We'll explain what is meant by stateless widget. And then it overrides what you call build, and then it has context, and then inside that build, it is returning. If you still remember the functions of returning, it is returning my material app. So this is the first thing that is displayed on what? On computer. If I removed this one, then nothing will be displayed on what? On screen. So we're going to explain what is meant by material app and what is meant by everything. So if you come and copy this material app as a class, and then everything, you'll have to be, at least you should have some good internet. You should have internet connection, so that everything that you don't understand, you are able to search. Okay, so you're no longer a baby. Some things you'll have to do them for yourself, and most of them is about reading. So you'll have to read some stuff. So for example, if you see this material widget, this is the material app. You want to read about it, just simply come to Google and search material app Flutter. So this material app Flutter, they'll explain what is meant for you. An application using as material app, a convenient network, and what. So this Flutter, it has its own documentation. You see, it has its own documentation here, and then they can explain to you what is meant by material app, because it is the cover of everything here. So here, material app, in simple terms, here, this is how these guys of Flutter, these are the creators of Flutter. An application that uses material design. So if your application uses material design, it will have to return a material app, a convenience widget that wraps a number of widgets that commonly required for material design application. It builds the widget app by adding material design specific functionality such as animation and grid paper, etc. So material app configures the navigation to search the routes following, and for example the routes, and otherwise if you don't use material app, you'll have to design everything by yourself. So here they'll explain to you what is a material app. For example, here material app, you'll see the word home. So this is the work of what? Of material app. So I will not take you too much into notes, but you can come and read what is meant by material app, and here they can show you the properties that they take. Now let me now tell you the plain thing, what is meant by material app. Material app is the structure of a default Android application. I repeat, material app is the structure of default Android application. So Android or even iOS, okay? So what is the structure of a default Android application? The architecture or the structure. An application, you'll find that it is having what? It is having this status bar. Can you see? This status bar is kind of what? Of dark blue. Are you the one who colored that? No. You see, you're having this word, my app demo. Are you the one who said that this should be blue and the app should have this? No. You see, you're having this plus. Are you the one who put it there and you did that? No. You are the one who organized that this plus should become here. For example, if you open your WhatsApp, you'll find that normal application, WhatsApp and the rest, they'll be organized in this structure. There will be a title of the application, there will be content of the application. In case there is a new ad, even WhatsApp, you'll find a plus for starting a conversation is here. Twitter, WhatsApp, YouTube, almost they're having same structure. They will know a title will always be there. So material app is a widget, or is a component of Flutter that helps you to organize the application by default, and then for you can reorganize it in a way that you do what that you want. So material app is a widget that is really important for us to create a default structure of what of application. So this word, my app, and this app bar that you're seeing here on top, all of them, they are works of what? This button here, having it in that position, all of those things are works of material app. So if I come and remove, let us remove material app and replace it with something else. I'm going to replace it with what you call text. A text is nothing but a widget. A widget means a component. Let me search. I will use the word widget so much. Widget. Let us search the meaning of widget. Flutter widget, so that I should know also the meaning, because it is me. So a widget. Widget, the central class hierarchy of Flutter. A widget is an immutable description of a part of a what? Of user interface. So a widget is part of the user interface that you cannot change, okay? That you can create but not change in Flutter. For example, if you want to add a button, is a widget. If you want to add a text, is a widget. If you add anything that you can see, that you can see in user interface, we call it what? We call it. Okay, so you can see this is just a simple application and it has nothing. So in Flutter, we have what we call properties. So every class will have what we call properties. Just if you know HTML, it had attributes. So in Flutter also have what we call properties. So this material app has some possible properties that you can take. Among the properties that you can take is what is the title. So the title will be just simply a string. So if you want to know, let me show you. If you want to know the properties, the possible properties that a certain widget can take, just simply press Ctrl and hold it. Press Ctrl and hold it, and then click on that widget. So Flutter will give you its source code and show you the possible properties that application can take. So you can read along those properties and then you guess what they can mean. So among the things, so if I click here, this is the main application. If I click here, this is the material app class. So they'll tell you that this material app will take home, it will have a property called home, it will have another property called initial roots, what. There's so many things, eh? So let us just look at the one that we may need, eh? So the first one is the title, okay? So the title, you just simply come here inside those brackets and write the word title. So you can pass there anything. Okay, I can say my simple app and then save. So this one is just the title of the page. You'll not be able to see any change on the on the screen. So another important thing that we have is the is the home. If you scroll down, you'll see something called home. Okay, what is it? Here, home. So this home is the one that will take the main the main application. So I'll just simply come here and create another thing called home. Okay, so home, it is the one that is going to take the main widget. So inside this main widget, I'm going to put simple text and say this is my simple text, and I save. So when I save, you'll see this is my simple text, but it is just in with a black background, So this is my text, this is a string, this is the text that is having the black background. So we have not got our application you have not got that feel of the mobile application of Android. So if we add that feel, we'll have to add one more thing called scaffold. Okay, so scaffold is the one that will give you the structure now, the structure itself of Android mobile application. So if you want to search about scaffold, just simply come to Google and search Flutter scaffold. Okay, scaffold. So they'll tell you what is meant by Flutter scaffold, and if you come to the Flutter website here, api.flutter.com, scaffold class, they'll explain to you. Implements the basic material design visual layout structure. So this one will give you the structure of the application itself. Okay, and then they'll also tell you what it takes. They'll even give you example of the source code here, so you can even go through the source code. So inside the scaffold is where we're going to put now the application itself. So I'm going to remove this text, because this application, it will be very hard for us to design an application that is going to make sense from scratch other than using the scaffold. So scaffold will help us to do that. So instead of putting here on home, instead of putting just a simple text, I'm going to put scaffold. So you begin with the capital letter and write the word scaffold. Okay, and then press enter. So in write scaffold, it's also a class, put a bracket there, and then if you just click on save, you see when I click on save, you see I have that white thing. Okay, I have that white thing. So it means that scaffold has helped me to design for me the layout of the whole project. Now this scaffold has also its properties. Okay, so if you press Ctrl and hold and click on this word scaffold, it will also tell you the possible properties that you may need. You may not need every property, but you may need some that may make sense for us. For example, the app bar. So if you click on app bar, also if you press Ctrl and click on app bar, they will tell you what this app bar is done. What the app bar can take. So you may not understand everything for the beginning, but no worry. So you will understand as we proceed. So here in the first property that we're going to pass what we call app bar inside the scaffold. So app bar. So app bar will take, Flutter has the way how it does things. So a certain property will have a name of something that relates to it. For example, this app bar. An app bar is a property of scaffold. So we're going to give it app bar like this. Start with the capital letter and write the word app bar. This one is small letter. The property is a small letter, but the value is capital letter. Open bracket and close it. And when you save, you'll see you have that blue thing. So beautiful and very simple to do. Can you see? And once you practice this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, it will just go in your head. Next time we'll just do it as very simple thing. You'll just copy the same thing and just paste, and then you'll be able to do. So this app bar will have also its properties. If you press Ctrl and space, they'll give you the properties. Can you see the properties? Or if you simply press Ctrl and hold it and click on this app bar, they'll give you the properties here. Okay, It have what you call leading, it have what you call title, it has what you call actions, it has what you call these things. You may not learn all of them in one day, but I'll try to take you step by step. And I'll not manage to teach you like how they teach in class, that this topic after this topic. Most of things we'll learn them when we see they are required. For example, right now, I saw the app bar is required, so I've taught you how app bar is supposed to be done, so you will know it. So you may not come back to it. Okay. So for example, now here we see the app bar. It can take title, it can take actions, it can take bottom, it can take shape, and some other things. Brightness, it can take icon, it can take theme. We'll not look at all of them, but let us look at only important ones. But we'll come to this app bar later and exploit and look at what is meant by action and all the rest. So if I come back here to our application here at the main, I'm going to see what do we need in this app bar. We need some text. Okay, I mean some text. So to put text, we have what we call title in this app bar. Okay, so I can simply put now this title is a what? It will take a widget, it will not take string. This type of material app, it takes the string, as it is here. But this one will take a widget, and I've already explained what is meant by widget. So a widget, it can be a text. So let's go ahead and create a text and put text, and then open bracket and open this whatever, and then put my first app. Okay, so if I save, you'll see it will automatically update. So if you're using your mobile phone, it will automatically update there and show that you have done what you have implemented the app bar. So that is the app bar. So everything will be in form of comma. So you see this one app bar will start from here, and where it ends it will be a comma. So again it will be back to scaffold. Okay, so in this app bar there are so many things. Just press Ctrl and space button, press Ctrl and hold it, and then press the space button. You'll be able to see other properties that you can take. You can change its color, you can change its shape, you can change its shadow. You see this, there is bottom shadow here. You can change that shadow. You can change, we call it elevation. For example, click on elevation and maybe press 0. You see, if I press 0 and I save, you're going to see this shadow has disappeared. There was some ugly shadow that was there. If I want to make it, maybe I put 10, you'll see the shadow is going to increase. Can you see the shadow under the app bar? If I make it 30, you see the shadow will increase. But if I make it 0, it will come back to 0. So that's not the work for today. We will come back to that later, the designing and the rest. Okay. So after doing that, it means that you have designed your app bar. So but still this this scaffold can take more things. Other things we have what we call, let me see, we have the body inside the scaffold. Now you should, another thing that you should do, don't confuse where your bracket stops. You see this bracket, when you click here on this bracket, it will tell you where it should show you. You see, they show me my scaffold bracket starting where this blue shade is, and it ends here where this blue shade is. So don't confuse. Okay, so this scaffold is having app bar as a property, and app bar will give it the app bar property, and it ends here. So if I want to add another thing to scaffold, so I have to come after this comma of app bar, and they will even tell you where it stops here. You can see the comment that the ID puts, tells you, hey, the app bar stops here. So if I come there, this scaffold, inside scaffold, there is another property called body. Okay, so inside this body, or in the body, it is where now you can put the content of your application, this white space. For example, if I now come and write here some text and then say this is my simple data, and I save. Now can you see this is my simple data here, which is so beautiful. Okay, so that is what you call app bar and scaffold. Okay, so after doing that, we can proceed. So instead of putting texts, now the question is, what if I want to add another text? Should I just copy this and then just paste it here? Of course no, because this one takes only one property. So I want you to look so carefully and practice, so that you should understand how things works. If you just watch them like movie, then you will not understand. You will just be wasting. So watch as you practice. So now I want to add now here some column. I want to organize these things in form of topics. So every topic will have its own script, its own screen, its own screen. So to do that, I'm just going to put something called list view. We'll come to list view, but this time I'm just putting it so that it should help me to organize my project. So you're going to come to list view. You're going to add their list view, but I'll explain what is meant by list view when you reach it. Okay? So list view is just a layout. So I'll remove this one and write the word list view. You can guess what it means. It's just a layout that can help us to write the list view. Open the bracket. So it means that now this body, our main content, is what a list view. So this list view, it will take a list of widgets. It will take so many widgets. Okay, that's why we call it list view. It will take so many widgets. So it will take a list of widgets. So to do that, I'm going to add here my first widget. For example, to add my first widget, we're going to look at something called containers. But I want us to be able to click on something so that we can be able to open that. So this list will have something called children. Okay, children. So in this children, it is where we're going to pass multiple widgets for this list. For example, if you want to write multiple text, for example, I can now say this is my text. Text 1. I put here a comma after this text. I again write another text. You see, it is a square bracket, so it means it is an array. Okay, so I can write here another text. So as long as it is children, it means that you can pass even more. 3 can pass here 4. So if I save, can you see we're having 4 text? Why? Because it is a what? It is a list. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to delete this. I don't need them. But I hope we are following each other and I hope we are understanding. We'll explain what is meant by list view later. But for now, let us just keep it as simple as that. So after creating list view, we are going to add now what you call tile. I don't know even its name. It's called list tile. Yeah, it's called list tile. So when you'll be writing, Android will be suggesting for you some things. So this list tile, it helps us to write items of a single list. Okay, so this list style will have a child. It will have a title. Okay, it will have a title. So this title is what's going to be on top here. So this list style, it will help us to write items of a list with simplicity. So for example, today I'm going to teach you about containers. I'm going to teach you about what is made by about text. So I'll just simply put here the title is a string, and no, title is a widget. It will take a widget. So if you want to see what something takes, just move your mouse there. It will show you a snippet here. They will tell you that this title will take a what? It will take a widget. Or press Ctrl and click on it. It will tell you whether it will take a widget or it will take a string. So this list tile is representing a single item in this list. So let us go here and put a widget. So a widget is going to be just our simple text, and this one is going to be called we're going to call it what? Containers. Containers. That's the topic that we're going to cover today. Container. Let me call it container. Okay. So you can see this list style has helped me to keep my things really smart. Can you see? It has put some space here, some space here. It has put some padding. But you remember, when you write just a plain text, let me show you. If I remove this list style, we'll explain what's made by list style when we proceed. But if I remove the list style and just write the text only, can you see? This will be just on, in the border. It does not look good, right? So I'll have to put in the list style so that it should be like a list item. This list style, it has a lot of what? A lot of properties. A lot of them. And if you press Ctrl and space, you'll see you have on tab, it have style, it have is dense, it have leading, it has enabled. We'll come and look at much more of these ones. Not all of them. I'll not promise you what I'm not going to do. Okay, but in your free time you can also try. and look. Just, it's up to you. When I teach about list style, if you're a smart student, just, okay, he has taught me about list style, I have my time, come on Flutter. Come on Google, search Flutter list style. You'll get someone who will explain to you everything about a list style. You see, a video is here. Click on it. They'll give you a very good explanation about what? About list style. This is videos.
Sometimes you have a list of items you really want to follow.
These are videos made by Flutter themselves.
You could spend hours working out the perfect item layout, rows, columns, containers, and various amounts of
So you
padding.
see how a list style can look
You
like.
could just use a list tile. List tile implements the material design list spec for you, leaving you to just worry about what goes in it. You can say what goes on the leading end of the tile and on the trailing end. In between them goes the text, either in 1 line, 2 lines, or making room for 3 lines. Make things smaller and denser with the dense property, and you can make it interactive with the on tap and the on long press callbacks. To give the user some hints on the list tile's interactivity, use the enabled or selected properties to style that tile. And that's it. You now have a list of items that follow the material spec. For more on list tile and all the other Flutter widgets, head on over to flutter.dev.
So you see, that's a good introduction about us a list style. So these guys, they have designed all the videos about almost every component. So come here and search about list style, you get that such a video, and then you can read. If you have time, you can read. You see, they'll explain much more about what you can use for list style. Can you see? It can have a title, can have a subtitle. It can, so you practice and learn. So this one is all about learning, and then when you learn, then you will know it forever. Okay. So there's not only Flutter.io, .dev does this. There are so many other websites that are doing the same thing, that are explaining about particular things. So for example, this is kinda.com. They will give you example and explain also more about more list items. So it's all about you, but the content is already there. So in simple terms, this list item, it can have another property called leading. So this leading, you can give it an icon. An icon is also another thing that you look at. This one can take what you call icons. Then here, when you put dot and press control space, they'll give you a list of icons. Can you see those icons? Okay. Can you see? Can you see? So those icons, it means that you can use them. So if I come and put maybe T like this, title, and press enter, so and I save, can you see? We have an icon here in front. We have an icon. So it's still about you. Okay, so you can come and read. You have leading. It will have a suffix, subtitle. Maybe you want to give maybe a subtitle. For example, container. I can come here and give another text and say introduction to container. So if I save, this list will do for you the what? The logic of knowing that a subtitle should be under the what? Under the subtitle. Introduction to, maybe I can say to Flutter container. So we'll come to that, but not today. But I'm just showing you that how you can even go ahead and teach yourself, that when I reach a certain topic, you already know a lot of more things. So you see, I have here leading. This can be a picture. It can be anything. And I've put there what? A title. And then after I have a subtitle, introduction to what? To Flutter container. Something that I've done like that. Just within 1 minute, you will be able to do this. Okay? So if you come here and put comma, and then I come and copy this. So since it is children, it means it can take more of what? Of list style. So I come and put this, another thing. So if I save, you see you have now 2. So if I come here and change, instead of putting title, title, now what else am I going to teach you? I'm going to teach you about text. Containers. I'm going to teach you about, we'll begin with text. So I'm going to put here text, and then we'll come about so introduction to Flutter text, something like that. Okay, that's a subtitle, but these are things which are optional. So I can put here maybe another icon that may represent text. So just press dot and then look for anything that you want, which are optional. You can even remove them, no problem. So can you see? So without even too much pain, you have done something great like this one. So I'll teach about text, I'll teach about containers, I'll teach about I'm going to begin by teaching you just only basics. I'll teach about buttons. So I'll come and copy this list item. You can as well write it from scratch and then paste it here. Okay, and then here I want to teach about maybe buttons. Introduction to Flutter buttons. So you see, so it means that if you have much more, we'll be able to do what? To scroll. So all the topics that I'll be covering, I'll be writing them here, and then so after doing that, now we're going to create a separate screen. So I'm going to show you how you can navigate from one screen to another. So let me remove this description. I may not need them. Let me remove this description. I may not need them. And even icons, maybe just even if, unless I want my things to look beautiful, then I can leave it. So let me leave icons. Okay, so I'm going to now show you how you can navigate to what? To another screen. So this list style has a property called what? Has a property called on tap. So on tap, it means that when you press on it, what should it do? So on tap, it will call a function that you want to be executed. So to do that, you just simply write on tap like this one. On tap, which is like the way you see it. Just write on and you'll see the word tap. It will be auto-completed by itself. So on tap, just press enter. So there on tap, you open bracket like this. And then you open, you point like this, just equal sign, and then the greater than sign. And then open curly bracket like this. So it means that anything that is going to be written between this curly bracket, it will be executed when you tap on this this item. Okay, so that's what I mean on tap. So it's a property of what? Of this item. So I'm going to put there something. When someone clicks on this, on this, I want to put something in the console. So to put something in the console, you already know when we're discussing about that. So I'm going to say print pressed on text. So when someone will click on this one, I'll display the word pressed on text in the console. So here, the console is here on the word run. If you click on run, you'll be able to see the console. This is our console. If you still remember those guys who studied that. Okay, so this is our console right now. So I can clear the console. So I've said that if someone taps here, I want to print. If you learned that with us, you still remember what is meant by printing. So when someone will click on this one, I will expect something to be displayed in the console. Let us go ahead and click on this tab. When I press on it, can you see? Press text. So it means that this has been executed. When I save, let me save again, delete. I click on text. Can you see? Press text. I click So, and you see there is some kind of feedback repo, like when I press on it. So this repo will only be shown when you have added the the on click method. Otherwise, if you've not added, you see this one, I've not added on click these others. So there is nothing that is done, and even if I press on them, there is nothing that is done. But here on tap, when I press, you see, and then this will be executed, this bracket. So it's so beautiful. So I'll close the sorry, I'll close the console. To close the console, you minimize it from here. Here, can you see? This way you minimize it from. So now here, I want when someone clicks here, I should go to another screen. Okay, to another screen. So to go to another screen, I must first create it. I should first create another screen before I go to it. So let us see how we can go to another screen. Okay, so you can just simply come and search here, navigate to another page in Flutter, and then the answers will always be there. Okay, the answers will always be there. And if you're using this grepper, guys, try to add this grepper. It's just a Chrome plugin Okay, come and search grepper. It's like this, grepper. It's very good for programmers. I'm liking it. It's grepper, like this, just like the way it is. Grepper extension. Search this word, grepper Chrome extension. Search it in your Google Chrome. You'll see it here in the first search result. Add it in your Google Chrome extension. Add it. For me, I already have it. So if you add it and log in, it will help you in these things. When you'll be searching a certain code, it will always give you the answers before you even do what? Before you even suffer. For example, you see, I've searched navigate to another page in Flutter. You see, the answer is here. But if you're using normal Google Chrome without that grepper Chrome installed, what you will see? You will see this. So you'll have to go through all these ones. So this grepper will help you as a developer and give you what? Give you answers with simplicity. So I'll just simply copy this. So to navigate to another screen, so instead of having here on top and then I have text, I can just simply say on top I'm going to put this. Okay, so to navigate to another screen, you just simply say, I've never even memorized it. Okay, let me explain it. You just simply say navigator dot push. Push not means you're pushing it, and then you open bracket and then put context, the word context as it is, and then here you put a route. So to put a route, you just simply say material page route, like that. Okay, so here after the context will be there, then put comma and then put the word route. So remove this route if it is there, write the word material page route. Okay, so here in the material page route we'll have what we call the builder. Okay, so inside this builder you put a bracket, okay, and pass the word context, and then you point at another page that you want to navigate to. For example, I'm going to put here the word text and say second page and save. So if I do like that, now when I click on this, when I click on tab, it's going to open my another page, my second page. So if I click here, it's not opening. Why? Let me see. There must be an error. Tap. Navigate operation does not requested with context, does not include the navigate. Let me see what could be the error about. Bootcamp scaffold. Let me see from Flutter docs. So these errors we always expect them. You see, I'm always using Flutter, but I can also get some errors. I think that's it. Okay. Maybe I need to first create the second page itself. So let me collapse this console. So the errors you will always find them in console. And put this, now that I've got from Flutter, remove this semicolon. Let me just put simple text and then put this. Okay, tab. It's not opening. Let's go ahead and create our second page. So to create second page, let's first create the second page and then we'll navigate to it at once. So to create a second page, what you do in Flutter, we're going to organize our things in form of screens. In form of screen. So we're going to create here another screen here. Okay. So Flutter, we always organize our things in form of folders. We'll have a folder of screen, we'll have a folder of widgets, we'll have a folder of models. So others call them screens, others call them pages. It's up to you. So for me, let me call them screen. So I'm going to create here another screen. So this screen is going to call text screen, and that's what we're going to discuss about text. So I'll just simply come there and say new directory, and then put, so directory is a folder, right? I'm going to put the folder called screens. So after writing screens, I'm going to put there another file of that, and that's going to be my second page. So right click and say new, and put file, and inside that file I'm going to call it what? I'm going to call it text screen dot data. Press enter. So there we are. They're asking me if I want it to be added to GitHub. Just say don't ask and add. So after doing that, this is our second. So you now have two files. And this file is inside what? Inside the folder of called screens. These things are so small. I think I should increase them for you so you can see clearly. Page settings. And this time it's not an editor. I just have to come, I think, to general. Where can I change the size? I think in appearance, not in editor. So I run it. It is switching. So let us see what was the problem. So let us see what was the problem. Let us see. Our application starts from here on top. So we're going to learn and see what is the problem, so that you should also not face the problem. That's how it will always be. So if you think that things are going to be straightforward, you'll always face what? You'll always face challenges. It's just 20% you're writing code, 80% you're fixing the code that you wrote. So let us see what was the problem. So I begin here with material app. Okay, so the main function calls the material app, and then we have we call the my app here. So here my app, it is just a stateless widget, and then it is overriding what? It is overriding the build, and inside this build we are having now the material app. So this material app is coming under here, under the build, and then you have the title. Then this title must be calling another what? Another class, which is stateful class, and that is when it will work. Otherwise it will not do what? It will not work. So you can see here we're calling here my home screen, but this my home screen is just nothing but a stateful class. You can also create your own. In fact, even that default structure of the application, when you create the Flutter application, by default it comes with what? With a well-designed project that you may not need to do what? To change, but modify. So you see, you're having here the home. Inside home, you're calling just another function called my home, and this my home is just nothing but a class. You can call it my app. I can even call it my app if you want to. So this is a stateful widget, and I'll explain what is made by stateful widget. It's nothing but what? But a class. So in simple terms, you can just simply delete this. Let me show you. Let me delete all this. So up to there, you should be on same point. Okay, up to there should be on same point. Let me delete even this one. Up to there, we should be on same point. You should be able to create something like this by yourself. So after creating something like this, you're going to create a stateful widget that is going to act as your home page. Otherwise, if you don't create a stateful widget, then it will not be able to navigate to another one. I did not know that, but I've learned it. So you just come here outside all the brackets, outside all the brackets, and write this state stf. You see, stateful. Here, stateful. Just press enter. STFUL like this. Just write that STF like this. You see the suggestion. Then press enter. Then there, you're going to create what you call a stateful widget. So to create a stateful widget, it is nothing but what? By class, but a class. So I'm going to call it my app. So just begin with the capital letter my and the small letter app like this one. Okay. So this my app, it will have what we call state. Okay. So state, it is always state is always the same name, but with that begin with underscore and the word state. So come here where there is this dash here, put a space and then write like this and then underscore like this. Okay, just write like that, like the way this one is. Okay, so inside there, and also come and put the same name here, my app state like this. Okay, just call this one here my app state, call it here. This one should be here. My app state should come here and call it. Okay, my app state is being called here. So press Alt and enter. My app. Oh, it is conflicting with this one. Sorry, it is conflicting with this one. Let me remove everything and I do it again. My app, we already had the word my app, so it was conflicting. Let us write it another one. So after you have here this one error, come here and write stateful and press enter, and then put here maybe home screen. Write home screen. So write home. Write home screen like this. So here is home screen. Come here and add home screen state like this. Home screen state. Okay, it extend stateless. Okay. Okay, so here get this home and put it here. It expand this one, the state of what? Of home. And then this, get this one. What I've done, I've just got this name home screen and put it here. It's going to extend it here. Okay. Then after that one, then you have to put here the state. You have to put it here. Okay. Then also after that one, so after writing the state, this is the state, how it should be written, the name of the state, and then a state. Then this one should come here. To override, remove this word state, put it here. Okay. Can even remove this. So so after doing that, then you're going to call this home screen here now. Okay, this is how we write a stateful widget. Then call this home screen here, just like the way the app was there originally at the first. So after doing that, then your app should be able to run and display nothing. So let me go ahead and run the application. Stop it and run it. So now there is where you're going to put now your material your material UI, your material app. So he will come here and put material app, and then this material app, you know what it will take? It will take what we call home, and this home will take what we call scaffold. And then inside this scaffold, we'll have what we call app bar. And then this app bar will just take an capital letter of app bar. Okay. And then put here home page maybe. Okay. App bar will have also take things like title, and then this title is a what? Is a widget, like text widget. So save. It's refreshing. And now we'll have something like, hope it's still compiling. So then as it is compiling, let us come here. After the scaffold, we are now going to add our things. We're going to add a list view. So we're going to add body, right? After the scaffold, inside the scaffold, it's going to have body. And then inside this body, we can put a list view. And then this list view, we can give it children. And then this children, we can give now list style. And then this list style, we can give it now title. And then this title will take a widget, something like containers, container. Then here is where we're going to put on what? On top. And this on top will point at curly bracket like this, eh? And then this on top, let us try to put there some text. I mean, now the navigator, like when someone clicks there, should open a new page. I'll copy this navigate, paste it there. But you can as well memorize it in your head, eh? It is a simple thing. You can memorize it in your head. It's just navigator dot push. Then open the curly bracket, put the context, and then put material root, and then open this. It will have build and pass the context, and then point at constant, and then put here the second page. So I'm going to put here just simple word text, and then say second page. Okay, save. So you should be able to do that. Let's try again and see. Click. It's going to second page. It's beautiful. So that is the journey. It is never straight. I do this programming every day, almost every day. Also Flutter will do it. I've been doing it every day, but that cannot stop me from facing what? From facing an error. So I just want you to learn that is normal. From facing an error like the one I've faced. Facing an error is very normal. But the only thing is not to get scared of the error. Face it and find a solution for it. Once you know the solution, that's what they call experience. So next time you will not suffer. When you get such an error, that very error, you'll be able to solve it. When a friend gets it and asks you, hey, I'm getting this error, navigate is not navigating, it is bringing, you'll know where exactly the problem is. Why? Because you practice. And that's what they call experience. And that's why people want to hire people who have experience. Why? Because they have faced a lot of errors and they have solved them. But such as things like how to solve this error, they don't teach them in class. You only learn them during field. So what was the problem that we were making? We were not making a stateful widget. Eh? So it was just a single widget, and then it was not stateful. So you'll have to pause the video and make sure at least you're at this point, in case you lost. So that's it. Let us proceed. Oh, our time has even gone. Oh my god. I'll add more time because I'll cut a big part of this video. I'll cut it. That video when I was fixing the error, I'll cut it. So I'll add more time, maybe like more 10 minutes. Because this time I've spent it explaining basics. So after doing that, now we're going to create our second screen. We already created our second screen. Okay? If you still remember, we created our second screen. It's called text screen. This one here. Okay? So this text screen, it is here. And it's having nothing but what? But this one. But it is just a stateful widget, a stateful widget, like just basic stateful widget. So after doing that, let us go ahead and instead of putting text, so go ahead and open our what? Our second screen. So our second screen is called text screen. Okay, text screen. I just think I should remove this guy. Text screen. And then let us go ahead and click on that. Can you see? Let me see if it is on the one. So if you want to navigate that screen straight, just press Ctrl and click on it. So you see, this is our text screen. Text screen. Save. But does not have scaffold. So let us go ahead and now design this screen that it should look like a real application. The second screen. So click on it. That's our text screen. Now let us go ahead and give it scaffold. Next time we'll just be copying and pasting, but right now I'm showing you step by step that you should get used of it. Also, when you're doing it for the first times, do it step by steps. That you should do what you should, and you should understand them. That you should understand the concept. So since we already have material up, you can just go here and put stateful. I mean scaffold. And return scaffold. So write scaffold. And then scaffold will have, if you want to, you put semicolon there. This scaffold, it may have an up bar, and then this up bar will have up bar widget, and then this up bar widget will take what you call title, and this title is a what? Is a widget also, which you can use text, and then you can call this one text. Okay. So text. Save. When you save, you have something like that. So you even have the back icon. Click on back. It will take you to the home page. Click there, we have that. Click back, beautiful. So you have created an app that can navigate from one page to another. So we have two pages now. This main page will have everything, and this second page, this one here, will have this second page. So I click here. So instead of container, I'm going to change it to what? Text in. So I collapse that. I'm going to come here. This tile, I'm going to add another tile. So put here a comma at the end of this tile, and then duplicate this one, and then call it I'm going to call it what? I'm going to call it, this is text. So the second one will be container. So it will be text screen. So save. So we have text and what? And container. When I click on text, then you have the container. Let me add more 10 minutes. Okay. Oh, it's not changing. What is happening with things today? Okay. So now let us look at different text of what? Of Flutter. So I'll come now to this text, and this we are going to learn the basics of text. So I'll simply put here now the body of this scaffold. So I'll come here outside the app bar, and I'll make sure that I'm inside scaffold. Put body, and then I'm going to put what I call text, and then put here inside that text. So that's three different properties that the text can take. The first property is, let me press Ctrl and click on it. So here you can learn different properties that the text can take. It will take style, it will take structure, it will take text align, it will take text direction, it will take different things. But the first thing that must be passed is the data. Okay, so this text data is the content of the text. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the first data. So I can pass here double quotes and say simple text. So let us now look at different things that are different properties of text. So I'll put here a comma and then pass another property. So the first property that we're going to look at is the style. So the style property, it will help us to style text. So if I come here and write style, so it will take another class, value of a class. So the value of a class that will take on the style of a text is called what? Text style. I'm doing this that you should be able to know what to know what a possible things that a text can take. So I put text style, okay, put bracket, and then here it is where I can design, change the color, change the size of what of text. So if you press Ctrl and click on text style, you'll also see the possible properties of what of the text. Have inherit, have color. So this color, let us go ahead and pass it and see. So color in Flutter, they are inside, if you want multiple colors or different colors in Flutter, they are inside class or a property called colors. So Flutter will give you hundreds of colors that you may use in your project. And to access those colors, just simply write the word color like that, colors. Okay. So in write colors and press dot, full stop, and then you will be able to get so many colors that you can use in your project. Can you see? All these are colors that you can use in our project. Okay. So if I want to use red, for example, I want to change my text to red, I'll just simply write red. Okay. So it can be any color. So when I say red and I save, my text will be what? Will be red. So if I want to, let me increase the size. So to increase the size is also a property of what? Of text style. Okay. So I'll just simply write font size. Let me make it, maybe this one will take integers. If I put 40, you see it is becoming 40. If I put 50, see it is becoming bigger. Okay, so now what I wanted to demonstrate to you is this style, this color can take multiple values. So it has some shade, what we call shade. So it can shade from 100 up to, it can shade from 10 up to 100 with difference of hundreds. No, it can shade from 100 up to what? Up to 1000 with a difference of hundreds. So if to do that, you just simply click here, dot shade. Shade is just the opacity or the weight of that particular color. So if I put 50, they're going to reduce this color to 50, but it's going to remain red. So if I put 50 and I save, shade 50, can you see? Red is there but with light color. So I can play with this by putting 100, you see? I can do this by putting 200, shade 200. I can do this by putting shade maybe 700. So the maximum is 900. So you see, when I put shade 200, it will look like that. So after 5 minutes. So you can see it is 700. So you can change even up to 900. When you save, that's what you get. So you can deepen any particular color between 100 and what and 900. So it can even be green. Okay, like that. Okay, green. If I save, you see, green. It can even be blue. Okay, if I save, it is blue. So that's it. So you can play with these colors as much as you want, and you can change their shading. You can change even their shading. It can even be red. So about colors, we'll look at them later. So that is how you can style this text. So this style will take multiple things. Just simply put there a comma and then press also control space. You'll see local means language, height means the line height. We have font weight. It will take what we call font weight dot, and then if you want to make it 100, so it's going to be bolded. Okay, it's going to be bolded. If you make it so you can use weight by putting W, and then you can vary weight from 0 up to 900. So if I put 900, it's going to be super bold. If I put 100, it's going to be super light. Can you see? Something beautiful like that. So if you're a designer, if you're creative, you can use this possibility to make something that can even look better than who taught you. Okay, so it's all about your creativity to make something great. So those are fonts. Font weight. So you can even make it 400. Okay, you can make it even 100 like that. So let's look at another thing, another property. Press Ctrl and space. You'll look at other property, background. This background, I think it's the color. So you have also background color. So this background color, you can guess what it means. It means the color that you want to be in the background. So for example, if I want this color to be, so I just simply put colors dot black. Okay, dot black. I save. You can see my text is having now the black color. Can you see that? So that's the background color. You can even change the background color to any color that you want. Okay, so copy, comma, press Ctrl space. Let's look at that. Height, line height, decoration. This is text decoration, or in case you want to change the design of the text. Font family. This is where you can change the font of text. We have font style, where you can change the style of font style of text. Shadow, in case you want your text to have some shadow, you can do all that. So these are possible properties that you can pass in the text style, and this text style is a property that you pass on on the style of text. So if you come back again to text, press Ctrl and space, you have what you call align. So align is where I want your text to be aligned. So if you press align, So this one will take a property called text align. You may, if you have never written these things, they look to you like Chinese, but if you try them, you'll see they're really possible. Press dot, and then you see align left. Align left means they should be aligned left. So if you again press dot and say align right, so if you save, the text will be align right. But because it is having minimum width, you may not see how it has been aligned right. But when you proceed, when you look at containers, you'll see how it's meant by being aligned right. You can center. You can even change the alignment of the text. Press Ctrl space and look at other possible things. How about soft wrap, maximum lines? So sometimes just look at maximum lines. And I say that our text is too much. Maybe the application that you're doing, it is fetching a lot of text from internet and display it on the screen. So you see, now it is aligning right because it is too many, of course. So if you put center, it will center itself. Can you see? It is centering. So left like that. You can put even justify. So justify, it will make sure that it begins from the end up to the end. Okay. So now, this text. What do you want to say? I wanted to talk about what? Let me see. Okay, maximum. Okay, maximum lines is the number of lines that you want this text to do to show. So if you want this text to show the whole text, you can give it maximum line. To do that, I just simply put max lines. So is the number of lines that you want to see. So if you put 2, they will only show 2 lines. If you put 1, they'll only show 1 line. If you put 5, you will only show maximum 5. So that's what you call by max lines. So for today, we'll stop from there. So that is what we've looked at. We've looked at how to create a Flutter project, the structure of Flutter project. We've looked at material app. We've looked at scaffold, app bar, and text. So in the next class, we'll start from there. And we've also looked at how to navigate through the Flutter application. Next class of mobile application development, we'll start from there to see how we can create now containers. List views, columns, rows, stack, and the rest. We'll look at them in the next class. But for today, that is where we'll stop at, and I hope you've learned something new. So I'll share the video. And okay, one more thing before you do before you finish, or before you close your project, before you leave your computer, make sure that you always update your GitHub. So for example, we have practiced today. So open your GitHub software and then go to the project that you've just created. This was Flutter components. This is the project, and you see the things that you have changed. Okay, so they're already there. So what do you do before you leave your computer? First, put maybe new stuff, or can put text lecture. Okay, after doing that, commit and then push. Commit, pull and push. Pull. There's a conflict. Okay, just because I changed something from the other side. But after doing that, go ahead and push. Go ahead and push. Let me see what is conflicting. Okay, so after finish, you push. So when you push, then your online version will be what? Okay, I fixed it. So go ahead and click and then commit and push. Okay, so when you push, your online version will be push to origin. When you push, your online version will be updated, and then you'll be good. Then you can go ahead and proceed. So if you push, I'll also be able to see your changes from my side. So that's it for today. I will share with you the video and you'll practice. This time I'll not give assignment until all other people proceed. But not giving assignment does not mean that you should not practice. So you have to do what? So that's it for today, members, unless there's a question, but otherwise